PAM Time. It's an inspirational and educational show featuring the performing arts. It's music, dance, drama, art, but most of all, it's fun. So I'd like to welcome you tonight to a very special holiday edition. So come celebrate the arts with PAM Time. Greatest things that you can give anybody during the holiday season is your time. And let me tell you, it's just so wonderful when you see people who are caring and giving of themselves so freely during the holiday seasons. So one of the events that I went to was called Toys for Kids, and this was brought to you by Lois and Carl Richards. You've seen them on Keeping Country Strong. And Erwin Benzie-Benz was emceeing this event. Daryl Hay did sound. I want to thank the Allenville Pioneer Fire Department also for having some hot chocolate, setting up the tables so beautifully and festive, and really making it nice for everybody. So I just want to say thank you to everybody there. So you're going to watch a clip of me singing a couple songs during this wonderful, wonderful event. So again, happy holidays. There's a musical that I wrote, and it's called Wonderland. Now, some of the music I did write, but at the time I didn't have all of my Christmas songs done yet. They were still formulating up in here. So in the meantime, what I ended up doing was I took some traditional carols, some carols that were on the radio, or some things that I've had that I really, really enjoyed and was working with my students at the conservatory, and put them into this show called Operation Elf, Winter Wonderland. So this was done at the New Rose Theater by some of my wonderful students, very, very talented musicians, singers from the ages of probably, I think the youngest was about 5, and it kind of went up to about, I think the oldest was about 18 or 19 years old. So enjoy some of the versions of this show called Winter Wonderland and those students who magically brought to life. And thank you to Pete Gamma for filming. So enjoy Winter Wonderland.
Hi, I'd like to welcome you all tonight. We have a very special show in front of you this time of year. I'm just so excited that we actually pulled this together this year. It's been something that I've been thinking about doing for a while. It's called Winter Wonderland, and it's something that just got inspired by a sister of mine. Her name is Patty. She couldn't make it tonight. She's a very special person in my life, and the Sugar Plum Elf is actually her. And you'll kind of see it revolve around and all these magical things that happen because she's such a special person. I also would like to acknowledge some of the proceeds from tonight's show, because this time of year is so, it's hard for people. And some of the proceeds from tonight we're going to be taking and donating to the local food pantry. And Sam Wright just told me that for every $1 we donated, it gets times 10. So from your tickets that we sold, $2.50 a ticket times 10 is what we're donating to the food pantry. So I'm really excited. Thank you all so much. I think that's going to be something that we've always strived to do, is to help our community, especially, you know, this time of year with kids that are hungry. That just breaks our heart. So I'm glad we could do that for them, and you could do that for them. Also tonight we have some special guests down in the front here. So we'd like to acknowledge them. We have some World War II veterans, and
I'm just a veteran myself.
He's just a veteran. But let's give them a round of applause and their families. Thank you all. We appreciate your service. So without further delay, Zach is going to give you some announcement. I just want to say I love all these guys before we go, and they are the best. Wait till you see them. You're going to be so proud of them, because I'm already proud of them. Thank you, Zach. Love you guys, Jerry. Love you, Zach. Love you, Mandy. Love you, Dee. Love you, Jane. Rochelle, Veronica, all you guys that have helped today, thank you very much. And I'd like to go on with the show now. Thank you.
Peter sucked Hope's letter to Santa. She snuck the letter into Santa's special delivery bag. As she whisked away, she sprinkled glitter onto all the lonely orphan girls. She wanted so much for them to be a little happier as they wait for Christmas Eve. As he peered out the snowflake window, he asked his mom, "Is Dad coming home for Christmas? Do you think it's snowing where he is?" She hesitated a moment, but patiently answered him, "No, Teddy, your dad is fine. He is a soldier and has one of the most special jobs in the world, keeping us all safe. He's probably looking out his window this very minute, thinking of you too." Teddy couldn't help but notice the sadness in her voice. She tried to hide her loneliness by walking away to read a letter written to her from Teddy's dad. A tear came to her eye as she read the handwritten letter. He folded the letter to Santa up and set it on his nightstand. As Teddy went to bed, he suddenly got an idea. He loved to cook and thought if he made his mom one of his homemade cookies, it might help make her feel better. When Teddy went to sleep that night, he decided the next morning he would go out to the village and get some of the ingredients for his super-duper sugar cookies. As Teddy began to fade into a deep dream state, Sugar quietly snuck up to his letter and quickly put it in Santa's special delivery bag. As she looked down at Teddy's sweet little face, she couldn't help to think about Teddy's heart of gold. She thought that maybe a little of her sparkle might brighten his day. Sugar sprinkled some of her magical glitter on Teddy and once again whisked away to continue on her mission. Miss Olive sat patiently next to her student as she waited for her to finish with the Christmas song she was playing on the piano. As she listened and watched, she couldn't help but wonder what it must be like to have a family of her own. She pulled out a piece of cinnamon-scented stack paper and decided to write her Christmas wish down on it. As she opened the window to get some fresh air, some of her papers flew out the window into the snowbank, including her Christmas wish. Sugar had been keeping an eye on things and saw the papers fly out the window. She scooped them up from the snowbank and stuffed them into the Santa's special delivery bag. As the song ended, Hope joyfully ran over to the music teacher and thanked her for allowing her to listen to such wonderful music. Hope handed her one of her handmade stocking ornaments as a thank you. She smiled, hugged Miss Olive, and dashed off. Miss Olive tried to get her attention and called to her, "Wait, who are you? Wait, little girl, do you need something?" She found herself wondering about this delightful little girl and shouted off to her, "Merry Christmas!" As Sugar was setting Santa's special delivery bag down by the snowbank, she noticed something that Hope dropped and went to pick it up. It was one of her ornaments with the address of Angel Orphanage on it. She waved her hands in the air to show Miss Olive that she had Hope's address, but Miss Olive couldn't see her. Sugar desperately tried to get someone's attention by running up and down the street, dancing in circles, trying to get anyone to notice. As she slowly slinked away, she was stopped by a familiar voice asking, "Why are you acting so crazy?" Sugar turned around to find Teddy, standing there beaming with the Christmas spirit. He said, "Your jumping and leaping all about has left piles of glitter everywhere in the village of Cranberry Bog." Sugar was overjoyed that finally someone could see her. Sugar handed Teddy the ornament and address card and pointed him toward Hope. Teddy looked down at the ornament and saw that she was from the local orphanage. Teddy ran after Hope and was stopped by the music teacher. "Who was that little girl from the street? Why are you following her?" she asked. "I don't know," replied Teddy. "I just know there's something special about her, and I want to help her." Teddy showed Miss Olive the ornament that Sugar had given him. As Miss Olive touched the ornament, a little glitter rubbed off. She felt this overwhelming sensation to help too. Together, both Miss Olive and Teddy decided to put on a Christmas Eve concert for Angel Orphanage at the park. They would invite the orphans as their special guests and would sell Teddy's Christmas cookies to help raise money. They would invite everyone in Cranberry Bog to help celebrate. Noticed the glow of the delivery bag left behind by Sugar. Mr. Gold was a very important man who was in charge of things in the military. He had always been too busy for family, but since he retired, he had wished more than ever he had one. He peeked in the glitter-covered bag and discovered the handwritten letters from Hope, Teddy, and Miss Olive. As he read them, he realized these were Christmas wishes asking for something so completely selfless. In all the excitement of trying to get everyone's attention, Sugar didn't realize that her delivery bag was left behind. She couldn't remember where she had left it. Sugar thought to herself, "Oh no, what have I done? The special wishes I collected are gone. I failed again. I ruined Christmas for everyone." This time was the worst ever. She couldn't face Santa or anyone else. She decided to run off and hide in the park behind the village tree. After reading Miss Olive's wish, he took a long, deep breath of the cinnamon-scented paper and smiled. As he reached back into Santa's delivery bag, his heart warmed as Sugar's magical glitter rubbed off on his hand. Suddenly, he had a strong desire to do something to help the people who wrote these letters. It was Christmas Eve and time was running out. Off he went into the snowy street to start a mission of his own. Miss Olive invited all the villagers to come out for a Christmas Eve concert to benefit the orphans. She posted flyers and asked everyone she saw to come. Teddy had baked and baked to make enough cookies for the event. All the village people came out in support of the orphans. Teddy and his mom were selling lots of cookies as the villagers sang carols and enjoyed the park. Just as the concert was about to begin, Mr. Gold marched out with all the orphan guests to the center of the gala. Amazingly, all the girls had been dressed in brand new clothes from head to toe and clutched beautiful stuffed animals in their arms. Mr. Gold had a special announcement. I was recently reminded how fortunate I am. It has been far too long since I had a family to enjoy the holidays with. Therefore, I have decided to adopt all the beautiful children at the Angel House Orphanage. The villagers all clapped and cheered. To everyone's surprise, Santa Claus stepped in the center of the park dressed in his red suit, carrying an enormous bag full of toys. He was followed by Mrs. Claus and the elves, who couldn't wait to celebrate with everyone at Cranberry Bog. Ho, 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 Santa exclaimed. Merry Christmas! I have gifts for everyone, including a wonderful little boy named Teddy. Teddy heard his name and turned in amazement to see his father climbing out of Santa's sleigh. He and his mother ran in delight to greet him. Teddy had gotten his Christmas gift after all.
Happy Christmas. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? Another year over, and the new one just begun. War is over now.
Everyone joined in song as Santa handed out toys to the newly adopted orphans. Sugar heard the beautiful music coming from behind her and couldn't help but begin to shine in the evening night. Mrs. Claus noticed the iridescent glow from behind the tree and knew right away it was her friend Sugar Plum. She escorted the sad and humble elf in front of everyone. Mrs. Claus asked Sugar, "Did you do this? Is this because of you?" Sugar's head slumped as she told Mrs. Claus and Santa about the delivery bag. Mrs. Claus smiled and took Sugar's hand. procession go. Everyone can see you. Sugar looked around at all the villagers smiling and waving at her. Santa chuckled and said, "Your glitter is everywhere. Your sparkle created a beautiful winter wonderland for all to enjoy. You brought them the spirit of Christmas. Operation Elf was a success." Everyone continued to enjoy the night. Sugar looked over at the lonely music teacher and remembered her wish. She took her by the hand and joined it with Mr. Gold. The faint, sweet smell of cinnamon was in the air, and Mr. Gold knew this was the woman from the letter. He looked into her eyes and lovingly asked her if she would want to be part of his new family. Before answering, Miss Olive pulled out the ornament that Hope had given her and agreed only if the little girl who made it was willing to have her. Hope stepped forward and, without hesitation, threw her arms around Miss Olive. All the other orphans piled on them, laughing and hugging each other. This was the family they had all been dreaming of. Sugar looked around in amazement and began to realize the best part of Christmas. Friends and family celebrating together. The greatest gift of all was given to the people of Cranberry Bog. Love for one another. Thanks to Sugar Plum and her winter wonderland. All will have a Merry Christmas.
Everyone, you're watching PAM Time. That's an inspirational and educational show featuring the performing arts. I hope you liked everything that you saw tonight. Come back again and watch us next week. We'll have some more great things that are coming your way. Hey, you never know what's in your local community. Get out there and support the arts. So thank you for watching our holiday edition of PAM Time. So come celebrate the arts, as I said, with PAM Time. Have a good night. Goodbye, good night, and happy holidays.